Hello, guys. Hi. It is 2022. Happy New Year. Yes. Happy New Year. I mean, we're not past the COVID-19 or the Omicron, but hey, we headed hopefully a step closer in the right direction. So, yeah, let's get started. I hope you guys New Year is starting off right, and 2022 has been okay to you so far. So we are going to work on femininity today. How do I get my femininity back? And I'm really posting this because I've been speaking to women who have gone through bad relationships, maybe a divorce, and they lost some things. Anybody who's been married or divorced, you know what that means when you lost yourself. You lost some things. And that's not the only way a person can lose their emotions or lose their femininity. Femininity. So anyhow, so I even found myself there once upon a time, even before I got divorced. And I was hard. Your heart is hard. Your heart is cold. Your feelings are numb. Who knows what I'm talking about? Your feelings numb. Your memory is real short. You may not even be able to remember what you did 2 seconds ago, literally. So I went on that journey too. So what I'm sharing and what I'm talking about and teaching is not. I always like to say it's not just textbook, but it is also from experience. And so, I'm just sharing what I have with you guys, gaining your femininity back. So, women who find themselves empowered, when you're in a relationship and you've been hurt or mistreated, women tend to have the tendency to get harder, get stronger. Like you didn't stop me, you can't hold me back, you can't, and then when the next guy come, you still have all this baggage. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm just going to hit maybe 3 or 4 points because this video isn't going to be long enough for me to actually walk you through a full course of coaching of what I would normally take you through. And so I'm going to give you an example or two, just hit a few points, and that'll wrap up this video. Okay, so you get hard, you get your money, and just like that's what I did. I got my stacks up, got my bags up, but then you have that luggage because you have that baggage still left. And a lot of women, unfortunately, we don't go through that baggage. A lot of us don't go to therapy, or we don't go to counseling, or we don't go to coaching. And so I know even for me, I went to therapy, counseling, premarital, during the marriage, after the marriage. And even then, it's still hard to really find a coach or a counselor, therapist that you really feel is making a difference, is really helping, And so even I just got rid of a therapist a couple of weeks ago because I'm like, okay, she seemed like she probably here for the paycheck, or she just started this maybe 3 or 4 years ago and she don't really got her feet in it good, for whatever reason. But that can be tedious, going around trying to find the right person. But a lot of times we women, we don't go and get the healing that we need. We don't. And then when we get to another man or another relationship, okay, here we are, and anything that he does that's similar to what traumatized you back here, now it sends off signals, and your mouth may become like this. throwing darts. Or you may become rebellious because you don't want to do that. You don't want to do what he's asking you to do or requesting you to do because it takes you back to another place. Because there is a reason you don't want to do it, and it's not just because you don't feel like it. It's because somewhere in your past you learned something that made you say, okay, this is the right way to respond to this situation. Okay, so that's number one, to gaining your femininity back. Because until you soften your heart, and what I call soften my bust, because I wrote this poem. I might read it for y'all one day, but I wrote this cold poem, and I said no more room for softness in my bust. No longer feeling like a woman, but feeling like a man. It was awesome, but I know what that feels like, and I understand you. Even if you've grown up in a household that's mostly men or males in your family, and you were never treated as a woman, you were never treated as a young princess or a young queen. Whatever your reasons are, there's ways to gain your femininity back. There is. I promise you there is. And even if you feel like you've never been feminine, but you want to learn how to be feminine, I can understand you. I understand that. I completely do. So the first thing is softening your heart and understanding how your heart and your thoughts, your mind, are connected to what comes out of your mouth. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Even if you don't think you're really saying it, people who have good ears, they can hear it. They know. And so, step one to gaining your femininity back is doing that work on the inside. Because if you think you're going to get that great, awesome man and you're carrying all this stuff around, thinking that it's going to be all right, it's okay, write it off, and you haven't gotten any healing or therapy past that, it's just sitting there building up. It's going to come out sooner or later. It's just a matter of when will it come out. And so I always like to lead my people and train my people to prepare yourself for the best possible outcomes that you can. Prepare yourself for that spouse or that man that you're saying you want. You can't just say you want him and you haven't put any preparation in. And gaining your femininity is a part of that. Another thing is understanding a man. Do you truly know a man? And I don't mean a man as in what you grew up around or what you saw on TV or out in public, but a man defined by his innate, God-given DNA that ain't gonna change. Do you know, maybe another way to say it is, do you know the foundation of a man? Do you know the foundational core of a man? Do you understand those things? You might understand men think differently from women, but what was a man created to do? And there's always the exceptional few, but for the majority and the most part of this conversation, men are made to be providers. And that's not to say you look at a man like he's a dollar sign. It's to say that's in his DNA. If a man doesn't feel like he's able to take care of his family and provide, he's gonna, if he a real man, he gonna get up and do something. He's not gonna go to sleep until he figure it out. He's not gonna rest until he makes sure that everybody in the house has everything that they need. And if you understand that concept, just that one concept, that a man is genetically made by God to be a provider, it is in him. Then you have to at some point understand that if he's going all the time and he's hustling, that's not something you're going to be able to stop necessarily. That's his DNA. So are you able to adjust to his DNA? And we're not going to bring in any other aspects to him working. We're just going to use that general example. Okay, can you handle him being gone all the time? And understand he's not going to stop until he's got his money and his family the way he wants it. The only thing you can do is support that because you can't change it. Okay, so that's just a one general example of, do you know a man? Do you really know a man? Because if you understand that, you won't argue with him. You won't give him a hard time. You won't make it harder for him to grind or to do certain things, because you might want to just stay laid up in his arms all day. And there's nothing wrong with staying laid up in your man's arms all day. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But you have to understand him. And when you know how to understand who a man truly is, and you connect that in your mind, in your heart, then what comes out of your mouth won't be darts. It'll be love. It'll be support. It'll be, I'm a woman and I understand he's a man, not just as in my man, but his DNA as a man. I understand him. So that's a part of gaining your femininity back again, and changing mindsets, because that's why you're watching this video now. But changing mindsets, and this is not just about gaining femininity back, but when it's about connecting that to getting the man that you want. You have to understand that man, not just who his personality and character is, but what is his DNA that he can't change and nobody else can change. And so those are small little things. Understanding that men will make mistakes. Understanding that men will make mistakes. They don't think like we think. We think on, fast-paced, multitask, bionic mind or something, and sometimes men we have been so hurt and so disappointed that when we deal with other men, the slightest thing we can take as rejection. The slightest thing that he didn't do right, we take it as rejection. But it's not that at all. It's not that at all. Again, understanding a man and who a man is and how he operates in certain ways. Okay, so he's not Superman. He's not Superman. And I feel like a lot of times us women, we expect him to be our Superman, and he can take anything, even our hardcore cutting words. He can take our hard words. He can take our hits. He can take our rejections of him, our lack of support. He can take us not sleeping with him for a few days because he made that mistake. No. He's not Superman. And I think understanding that men actually do have feelings. And sometimes us women, when you get so hard and men have not responded to you the way you wanted them to, you treat them a certain way. And for them, they read that as, she too much. She wants some I can't give her. He's not going to be perfect. But knowing how to still have a soft place for him when he comes, that's easy, that's stress-free, and still love him and give him loving and give him whatever he needs. Even then he made that mistake, And so he only loves you more for it because it makes him feel forgiven, understood, accepted, and like you're stable, So those men are not perfect, and accepting their mistakes. That is a part of being feminine. Controlling your emotions, that's linked to controlling your emotions. Controlling your emotions goes back to your healing. What did you experience in your past relationships that now you're here? You never worked through any of that. You just kept drudging through until you got to a place that was comfortable for you to live and function at a level that you're comfortable with. But you never worked through any of that. You never did. It's still there. And whether you believe it's affecting you or not, it is. It is. And those are the answers to why you haven't been able to move forward to where you want to go. Those are the answers to why you're not making the headway that you wanted. Because you got all this back here that you think is not affecting you. Okay, and so that's where a coach comes in. Okay, that's where a therapist or counselor comes in. But we listen to you, we can hear what you're saying, we see the bigger, broader picture, and so we can start to kind of pull those things, address those things, help you get the correct perspective, loosen it up so you can get freed up and you can move forward. Going through those things, going through that. And then understand, once you get that, you understand a man. Once you understand a man, you can control your emotions. You understand who he is, why those things are. You understand yourself. You understand your heart, your thoughts, and what's coming out of your mouth is sweetness and not vinegar. And even I had a couple contact me. They wanted premarital coaching. I said, okay. So we're on the phone. I'm just getting some information. And he's talking. He's really into it. And we talked, and he's like, yes, he understands. He's like, this can be nothing but God. This has to be a God. So, and she just starts talking in. Just talking in. And I said, hold on, what just happened? Stop. So her mouth and her emotions, she talked to him in front of me, knowing that y'all called me for premarital coaching, and you cut him off and talked to him. And then even when I was asking her to stop, she was even overspeaking me. And then she finally stopped, and she says, well, I was just trying to let him know we only had like 10 more minutes left in this visit, and he needed to hurry up, and not waste all the time, because I wanted to hear some more of what you were going to say. And okay, I get it. But you know your man. Okay, you know your man. And so you guys have these issues, but let's deal with your mouth. Let's deal with what's going on the inside. Let's deal with that, because you can't overspeak your man like that and think that he's going to marry you. You've never been married before. You got 4 or 5 kids. Okay, and the man that's here on this phone with you, it's a miracle to even get a man on the phone with you to speak to a coach. That's a miracle in itself, because they'll run off on you or make an excuse to disappear. And so he's on the phone, and you're disrespecting him like that. That's not feminine, and that's not what a man wants to lay in the bed with. That's not what a man thinks about shopping for and treating special and kissing on and loving on. That's not. Okay, so even it's so many things that I hear women and men talk about. It's so many things, but those are just some things that we go over in my femininity coaching and the femininity course, to help you get that softness back, get the heaviness off of your heart, get all of that, the confusion, the not knowing, the not understanding up off of you, and relearn who you are, who you're going to be, re-identifying who you are and who you're going to represent yourself to the world as, and who you're going to represent yourself as to your man. And so I'm not talking to talk. I walk that walk. Okay, I walk that walk. And for me, even gaining that femininity back, I do have to say this. One of the things I knew, I am old school. I'm old school, but a lot of this new school, it can sweep you under with the all of the women empowerment movements and women rights, and I can be whoever I want to be. I'm whatever, and so there are some, I even found myself in that place. I made so much money, I have the freedom to go do whatever I want when I want, just live the life that I want to live. Okay, so why I need a man? Just it can't just be sex. But that, I was like, it's not really about needing a man. It's about, I want a man. I would like a man. Okay, so with that being said, for women who find themselves in the powerful positions, in the boss positions, in the leadership positions, and you want a man, learning how to put your submit a little bit, and be vulnerable. Allow him to take care of you. Learning how to accept from a man. Learning how to accept when it's the right kind of accepting. I mean, some try to give you things for the wrong reasons, but learning how to accept, that's even a part of regaining your femininity back. When a man offers to pay for something, or he offers something to you, and you're like, no, I got it. No, femininity. No, oh, thank you. That's so sweet. Enjoy that. Because that's what we long for anyway, to be treated like that. So accept it. And it's okay to accept it and feel like that, little girl, daddy's girl, or, whoever's girl. It's a good feeling for me when a man opens the door for me. I don't have to say anything. As soon as they see me coming, they open the doors for me. Or as soon as they see me walking, they clear the path for me. And so I accept that. But don't accept it in a conceited way, like, I'm so this, I'm so that, look what they're doing for me. It's not about that. It's about your femininity. They're doing that for your femininity, not because you look good on the outside. You can look good on the outside and not have no femininity, and they won't open a door for you. I mean it. I've seen it. It's the femininity. It's what's on the inside that gets that response from a man. And so, there's so much more I could go over, but you can contact me. Look, and under this description, look under, I have the links posted other to where you can contact me on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and do these coaching sessions on getting your femininity back. We just pinpoint where you're at, where are you at, what areas we need to work on to get you in that right place that fits just for you on that femininity side, and so please don't, and I'm gonna share this with you too, and it's not to toot my own horn at all, it's not, but just to be transparent a little bit with you guys. I did have to up on my femininity. I did. But for most of my life, I've never had a problem getting a man. I haven't. And for the most part, the type of men I always attracted were either D-boys or ballers or just people who had money. And maybe it's just because I'm my natural beauty or my skin tone, whatever reason it is. But I had to upgrade on my femininity to begin to get a different type of man, and so I did. I paid attention. I learned. I walked that thing out, all of that kind of stuff. So even now, I can tell you I'm 46 years old. I just turned 46 in November, right? I know I don't look it. I hear it all the time. And so, but I have men, even at 46, I have men in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, all age groups trying to get at me. All age groups kind of get at me. The young guys in the 20s got businesses. They just want a chance. They just want a chance. And, you know, like I said, 30, 40, 50, 60s. And hey, versatile, femininity. You know, and I hear men saying you know, when you get a certain age, you out of this, or when you get a certain age, you know, and I just truly believe age don't matter. It really doesn't. Because, like I said, I'm 46. I mean, I'm a good looking 46. I keep it together. I'm just kidding, y'all. I keep it together, but just versatility in my femininity, and how I care for my mind and my spirit, my soul, my body, you know, and trying to live stress free. So femininity is a whole thing, y'all. And but you can reach out to me. Even, I mean, I got some stuff for y'all on the femininity, please believe me. On what you want to attract and what you trying to do. So reach out to me, Shema Ladd, personal development coach, premarital coach. And we can get you guys going in the 2022 on your femininity to start getting those different type of men. You know, or the men are going into the groups of people or the arenas that you're really trying to get into. Again, femininity, versatility. I can attract men from the ground up. The ground up, and that's so for real. So when it comes to femininity, trust me, I got you on that. We can work that and get you where you want to be, where you're trying to go. And yes. So until next time, I love you guys. This is Shema, and Happy New Year.